Hello, good morning, everyone. I know that it is still early, but feel free to watch this later on in the day when you have a chance. I just wanted to get on here and talk real quick about something that I've been meditating on the last couple of weeks. Before I get into that, I hope that y'all had the best week and day that you could. If not, let today be better than yesterday. We can't worry about what happened yesterday. We can only focus on the here and the now. And remember, don't be too hard on yourself if you don't always get things right the way that you think they should go. Life is about a journey. Life is about growth. Life is about learning. And so we must take each moment and be in that. There are lessons in life, and there are lessons in each and every day. And so you just must be mindful of yourself and knowing that you don't have to be perfect all the time. You don't have to know the answer all the time, but you must be in the moment and you must be in constant awareness of self. And that's what I'm going to get into today. But before I get into that, don't forget to follow me on here. Follow me on Instagram at Become Your C, YouTube BYC Become Your C, TikTok BYC Become Your C, and my website is up and running. It's www.becomeyourc.com. If you're interested in anything that I have to say, or about the holistic approach to mental health, you can feel free to message me. If you're struggling with your mental health, feel free to reach out to me. I can help you in any way that I see fit. There is a suicide hotline if you ever feel the need, that life is becoming overwhelming and you don't know where to turn. You deserve to be here. It's a gift that you're here. Please don't feel like you're in this by yourself. The suicide hotline is 1-800-273-8255. You can visit them on 988lifeline.org, or now you can text them at 988. Make sure that you utilize all the services to get you to the point where you need to be for yourself. You definitely deserve to be here. I know that life can be hectic sometimes. I know life can feel like you're in a rut, but there are people out there that's willing to help. You got to take the first step to saying, hey, I can't do this alone and I need some help. So I'm going to talk briefly about self-awareness. The last couple of weeks, I've been really meditating and doing some self-reflection and sitting in solitude just to find the answers that I seek in life. And I know everyone else does this. Like, what's my purpose? Why am I here? And we want immediate results, but life is about a journey, and it's a forever journey. And we're always going to be learning and growing through every step of the way. And that answer, the only way to really get the answers that you truly seek is to sit in solitude and constant meditation. We can't hear ourselves if we're in constant motion. So sometimes you got to take time and set aside for you. I know that we're all busy with life, but you must make sure that you take time for yourself, and not just, we need to exercise and plan out accordingly, but we need to really sit down in some quiet time so that we can hear, right? So today I wanted to talk about self-awareness. So I'm going to give y'all the dictionary definition and what I came up with throughout this week of what it means. So self-awareness is conscious knowledge of one's characters, feelings, motives, and desires, right? And so as I've been trying to do different things to enhance myself, right? Life to me is about a journey and growth and doing things that is going to make me a better person, as well as should be for yourself. And I've been running a lot lately because I'm trying to train for a 5K. And in those moments where I'm running, I have time to sit and reflect. Well, not sit and reflect, but I have time to reflect about my choices and where I want to go in life and why things turn out the way that they do. And if you believe in a higher power and God, if you believe in the universe or whatever you believe in, The answers are there. We just need to be able to understand them. We need to hear them, but we can't hear them if we're in constant motion. That's why I said meditation is something that we must practice every day in order to find what we're looking for. So this is my brief definition of self-awareness that I wrote down in my travels this week. So it's kind of like what the dictionary said. I just put a little bit of spin on it. So self-awareness, when you are in constant connection with your thoughts, beliefs, actions, and choices, and you hold yourself accountable and responsible for the consequences of each, right? And so for me, learning how to understand myself and responses and behaviors has brought me to a place where I understand life a little bit better, why things act the way they do. And in regards to mental health, yeah, mental health is a real illness, right? I tie it to genetics, I tie it to biological, I tie it to environmental, and also spiritual. When you are suffering, you just want the pain to be alleviated. But through the suffering is when we find solutions. And if you're into spirituality right now, it's very active and affecting our bodies physically as well. A lot of people are getting upset stomachs and increasing migraines and feeling worn out lately, nauseous. There are a lot of changes happening because whatever happens out there in the universe is happening to us internally. And it's going to force you to sit down and think about some things. And when we go through pain, immediately we want the pain to stop, right? If we got a headache, we want to take aspirin. If our body ache, we want to take a medication to stop the pain. But sometimes we really need to sit and think and ask ourselves what is happening. I suffer from extreme anxiety and panic attacks almost daily. And it is a scary situation when you're having one of those because you don't know what's going on with your body. And so this week has made me sit down and think about, why am I going through this, right? It's a real illness, and I urge you to go get checked out if you need be, because sometimes these illnesses or these symptoms can be a result of a physical illness. So please go get checked out. And if there is nothing that they can find, sometimes we need to seek deeper within. So getting back to what I was saying, so having these panic and anxieties has allowed me to sit down and think about what's really going on. Stress is a trigger for one of those. Why am I stressed? What pressure am I putting myself under? And anxiety, if you look deeper into it, is a result of previous stressors in our life that we did not learn how to handle them properly. And this is from our childhood. This is even before our childhood, like in the womb. When our mothers are carrying us in the womb, the stress that she is under is transferred spiritually onto her children. And even before that, our ancestors, because we are a result of our previous ancestors. All of that carries into energetically into who we are. Now it's left up to us to figure out what's going on. So through these travels of the last couple weeks, I'm asking myself, like, hey, what's going on with my body? My thought processes. Am I where I'm supposed to be in my life? And a lot of times with the busy of life, we're not where we want to be or ought to be. I believe there is a calling on each and every one of our life. We are meant for something greater than what we are. We all have gifts, but I always say that we have been given that are unique just to us. And when we don't utilize our gifts, it wreaks havoc on our soul, our spirit, our bodies, because we're not living the way that we ought to. Yes, We have to pay bills, and I'm not going to say stop paying those bills because we need a roof over our head. We need food. We have children to provide for. We have ourselves to provide for. There are things that we need to provide for. But there are things that we should be doing to prompt ourselves to make ourselves better that we are not doing because, one, we are afraid. And I learned that this week. We are afraid to become something different than who we are right now. We know who we are now because we've been with this person for so long, but we don't know who we can become, and that's what we are afraid of. And because we don't take the chance to explore different opportunities, exploring different knowledge and consciousness and tasks, we get stuck with who we are. And it's a battle internally that we're trying to fight. And what happens is if we don't respond to what we're supposed to be doing, right, it'll trigger, for me, and what I'm learning, panic and anxiety and depression and the constant worrying. So this week I asked myself questions. Why am I not? And maybe you should ask yourself this. Why are you not going towards what you feel like your calling is? We all have this calling over our life. So why are we not going towards that? And fear always sits in the back of our minds, or we don't believe in ourselves that we are worthy or valuable enough to get those things that are destined for us. We all are destined for greatness, and we all are responsible to achieve this greatness. But how do we get there? How do we know where we're supposed to be? And if you look over your life and people are advanced in certain areas, right? Or things just click for you that they may not click for other people. You may shy away from it because maybe financially it's not there, or maybe you don't have the time to commit to it. But I'm learning is that life gives us a certain amount of time, and what we do with that time is up to us. We all have enough time in our day to do the things that we are supposed to be doing, but maybe we're not utilizing our time wise enough. I know for me, sometimes, yes, I waste my time doing things that I waste my time doing other things, and I know I could be doing something else to better enhance myself. But again, we're so used to not pushing ourselves enough. We're so used to thinking that we are okay where we're at and that we don't deserve to become something better, or we don't need to become something better, or the whole mindset of that we can't see beyond where we are now keeps us stuck. And what happens is when we stay stuck, we never aspire to be more than where we are now. But then we get upset because we're not getting more than what we are now. And this takes some time to learn about self. I think people are such in a rush to get all the answers immediately that we miss the whole journey and the process of what growth is really about. You gotta take time and you gotta sit with yourself and really meditate on, okay, who am I, right? What are my thought patterns? What are my behaviors? How do I respond to each and every one of them? And why? Who we are now is a collection of our environments, our inner self. And in order to become something different than that, we got to dig deeper. Why? Ask yourself questions constantly. Why do I react this way? Why do I get scared when I'm walking down the street? Or why do I get scared when I'm in close spaces? A lot of us have had things happen to us, and I understand that. And that's why I urge people to get the help that you need so that you can become the person that's inside that is waiting to be birthed out, but you are afraid to become them because of all these triggers. So what you must do is meditate. And meditation comes in many forms. I go on YouTube daily, multiple times a day, and listen to different types of meditation. If you type in binaural beats, it's spelled BINURAL beats, and put in whatever you need. Like a lot of times I do binaural beats for anxiety, binaural beats to help me sleep, binaural beats for body healing, binaural beats to align your chakras, and I can talk about chakras at some other time. Good morning, Tyrone. We need to get to the place where we know who we truly are and where we're supposed to be at. If you believe in God and you seek the approval or you seek responses, He's not going to give you what you want. He's going to allow you to go through things so that you can sit and think for yourself. And this is just like going to therapy. When I was in therapy, my therapist did not give me the answers to what I wanted. She allowed me to think for myself. I urge you to go and meditate because it's going to open up another door. Yes, while you're going through these challenges, these bodies changes, because it's really on a deeper level, a more spiritual level of what we're going through. It's forcing us because we only have limited time here on earth. And so we must get to the point where we use our gifts. So many people have passed on and didn't get to their maximum potential because they were afraid. I too am afraid of change, and I'm afraid of who I know I can become, and a lot of us suffer from that. We get so comfortable where we are that we can't see no different. And if you're not ready to change, or if you're not willing to change, or you don't want to, that's okay. We all make choices in our life, and our life most of the time is a result of the choices that we make. I wanted to talk about the self-awareness part is because we need to be in constant connection to who we are. Every day when we wake up, we set out a plan of how the day is going to go. And sometimes life throws us curveballs and our day is not going to go as planned. How are we going to respond to when it doesn't go the way that we need it to? Why are we reacting like that? And then I want to talk about something else real quick. We react off of past reactions and past behavior patterns. And in order to change that, we gotta be mindful of why we're responding the way that we do. Self-awareness is an everyday thing. It's not like, oh, I'm going to pick it up and put it down. No, you need to be in constant connection with yourself. A lot of us lose ourselves in the process of going through life and working all the time and not really sitting down to taking time to sit. I always say this is when we are so busy with life and we're working all the time and we are not taking time for ourselves, our bodies start breaking down. For me, whenever I'm doing too much, I start getting sick. That is God's way of telling me that I need to sit down and take time for myself. Being self-aware is knowing when to push yourself and know when to take time for yourself. Every day, I always urge people to take 30 minutes for yourself every day, right? Whether that's exercising, and you should exercise at least 4 to 5 days a week. And this is not no extensive exercise. This is, just walking, doing something Our bodies need to be strong. We need to be healthier. I'm talking to myself because sometimes I'll fall off, but we need to be healthier. And exercise is one of those things that can give us energy, right? When you work out, yes, it hurts in the beginning. It feels difficult in the beginning, but over time, when we are consistent with an action, it becomes a regular behavior. It becomes routine, and our bodies get used to it. We need to fuel our body, fuel it with exercise and the right foods. That's a form of meditation. Taking time in the morning for self-reflection, writing, reading, doing things that's going to enhance you as a person. But you need to take those 30 minutes to yourself every day. I don't care what it is. Take a bath. Do something that you are by yourself. And I know people have children and have to work, but you owe it to yourself to give yourself the best out of life. You can't pour into someone if you're not pouring into yourself. And then I wanted to read something else real quick. Then I got to jump off because I have to get to work. But I wanted to take time out to share this because this is what has been sitting on my heart. And then I also read, and this book I was reading was about, self-awareness but self-reflection. To totally be free, you are in the present moment at all times. You feel what you feel at the moment, and growth starts when you are aware of those feelings and you do not respond too hastily. Take time and meet with those feelings and ask yourself questions and formulate the outcome of those feelings. Don't respond too quickly, but be in the moment with those feelings so that you are aware of how those feelings affect you, and your growth will come from the actions you take as a reflection of those feelings. Feelings are a part of the human experience. We don't need to shy away from having those feelings. We do ourselves a disservice when we try to ignore what we really feel and replace it with something that is not real. We are not being authentic to ourselves or who we are when we're doing that. We need to address why we're feeling those feelings, and that's how growth and change come about. Change cannot occur when we are not honest about why we are having those feelings. Being at peace, even in anger, sadness, is what we strive for because we are able to make the best choices out of whatever we are feeling. Every day we make a commitment to our growth. Never feel ashamed for how you feel because that is part of who you are in the moment. Always stay in connection with yourself. We're trying to connect to a higher level of consciousness and to be more self-aware. So, I just wanted to talk briefly on that because self-awareness is something that we need to practice daily so that we know who we are and our responses, right? Sometimes we can't be who we truly are because we keep ourselves stuck in this box. And I think sometimes we're ashamed of who we are on the inside. Maybe people don't accept us for who we are, and then we shy away from, so we become someone we're not. And that's not how life is supposed to be set up. God didn't make us the same. He made us uniquely, individually, and we need to run with that. We need to know who we are. We need to embrace who we are and then become the person we are meant to be. This is very challenging because in order to become who we know we are, we're going to have to make some changes, and we don't like change. Change hurts. Change requires us to have a different mindset. It requires us maybe to be in a different space, not just mentally, but physically. It's going to push us. And a lot of us don't like being pushed because we don't want to be bothered with. We don't like being pushed because we feel that we have all the answers. But no one on this earth has the answers to everything. As long as we're here on earth and through this journey of life, there are always going to be questions and answers. And that's very important, because when we are having lots of questions, we are learning in the process. And learning is imperative for our growth. And that's as much as I have for you today. I just wanted people to know that it's okay where you are. Dealing with all these changes in life can wreak havoc on our body, and we don't know what to do. And I say, when you don't know what to do, you need to take time to sit down. Over the last I would say month, I've been challenging myself to go deeper and to ask my questions. Why am I here? What's my purpose? And when you start walking towards that and you sit in quietness, and it will be revealed to you. The truth will always be revealed to those who are ready. And when you see a light, that light bulb that goes off in your head, when you are surrounded in certain environments, you know you are going in the right direction. Sometimes we don't understand the path that we're on, but I encourage you to stick it out. I encourage you to pray often, to meditate often, to take time to be in that moment and get out in nature, right? Nature to me is a healing mechanism. It speaks to us. Take a walk when it's not too hot, but you can walk anywhere. If you have a gym, you can walk in your house. But being in nature helps us realize the beauty of life. It helps us knowing that it's more to our existence than just existing. We want to live and thrive. We don't want to just exist and become robotic and doing the same thing over and over again with no sense of peace, no sense of, what's the word I'm looking for? When we become robotic, it takes away from the joy and having amazing experiences in life. And yes, life is going to have its downs and ups, but everything in life is a learning experience. And I think you need to just hone in on that and embrace it as it comes. Like, every day is not going to be the same, right? For me, being at peace and being happy, or being at peace, is more important than being happy. I think happiness is a constant state of change. Some days we're happier than others, but having that peace, that means you're in content. You have contentment inside, and you're okay with how the day goes. You don't overreact, and you know that life is in constant motion, and we can't control how life is going to happen, but we can control how we respond to it internally. When you're self-aware, you know there is more to life than just this. When you're self-aware, you know that you have a greater calling on your life, and that you need to do the work in order to achieve that. When you're self-aware, you know that you are not always right, and you don't always have the answers, and that is okay. When you're self-aware, you know that you are worthy and valuable of everything that life has to offer, and you are not going to allow yourself to doubt yourself. You're going to gain confidence and power from being self-aware. And that's as much as I have. Take time today and do some meditating and self-reflection. And if you believe in God, the universe, ancestors, whatever you believe in, speak out loud. Speak internally. Just speak. and ask questions and just sit in it for a moment. You'll get an answer, and it might not be immediately, but never stop believing in who you could become. Never give up on yourself, even if it takes time. This is not a race. It's you against you. You don't owe anything to anyone to become something that someone else wants you to be. You deserve to become the person that you need to be for yourself, because that person is going to make an impact on the world, whether you believe it or not. You being truly who you are, the authentic person that you are, is going to impact someone. I always say life is better when we're true to ourselves, and if you touch one person in this lifetime, you've done so much for yourself. You owe it to yourself to become the amazing person you know you need to be. So let's start today and take some time to learn who you are. Take some time to sit back and face yourself. We're afraid to face ourselves because we don't want to know the truth, but it's time to wake up. Thank y'all for joining me today. I know I wasn't on here as long as I normally am, but I hope you found some peace in what I've been talking about. Life is in constant learning, and that's what I am going after. I want to learn as much as I can, and I want to grow in areas that I need to grow so that I can become the person I know I am on the inside. And I want that for you as well. I want you to become everything you want to be and need to be for yourself and for the world. The world needs you. The world deserves you. You need you and you deserve you. So allow that person to come to life. Don't be afraid. I know fear holds us back from becoming who we need to be, but it's time to sit down and face that fear. You deserve to experience life at its fullest capacity. Don't leave here not knowing who you truly are. If you need to reach out to me to talk about mental health or a holistic approach to mental health, or if you need to talk to someone in general because you're feeling overwhelmed, you can feel free to reach out to me. Again, the suicide hotline, I posted all the information down below in case you need someone to really truly talk to. And follow me on all of my social media. If you want to talk about anything else about just feel free to message me. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I just want you to become who you need to be for yourself. Once you find that person, you're going to experience what peace feels like and what self-love feels like. And then you can pour that out into everything that you do. You deserve to know what it feels like to be free. Till next time, fall in love with yourself so the world can fall in love with you.